Born to Win by Bishop Oyedepo Chapter 5. A born winner. By virtue of your birth, you have been declared a winner. You have a winning covenant with God the Father. He has destined you to win. You are not meant for failure and defeat, but for great exploits and victory. There is no fight, however fierce, and the battle may be tough, but your victory is certain. You can have as many victories as the battles you have as long as you abide in God and know Him intimately. With this, your degree of exploits is unlimited, because the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits. Daniel 11:32. The children of Israel knew this secret. From Abraham we notice that no man, nation, or a conspiracy of nations was able to defeat them in any battle. God called Abraham and gave him a covenant. He told him he would bless his seed and make them great. He signed the covenant of prosperity, health, strength, and constant victory with Abraham on behalf of Israel. A very important truth about God is His faithfulness. If He has said a thing, He is bound to perform it. He is a stickler to His word. He can never be drawn into any situation that will make Him break His word. He is not a man that He should lie, neither is He a son of man that He should change His mind about His word. Check it up with God and notice that He will always stand by His word to fulfill it. He gives priority to the fulfillment of the word. The word is His expressed will. God is not a man, that He should lie, neither the son of man that He should repent. Hath He said and shall He not do it? Or hath He spoken and shall He not make it good? Numbers 23:19. Such is God's faithfulness to His covenant. He is a covenant-keeping God. You cannot make Him break His word. Even if man disappoints Him, He cannot deny Himself. He is God. He will ever be mindful of His covenant. Psalm 111:5. He sent redemption to His people. He hath commanded His covenant forever, holy and reverend is His name. Psalm 111:9. The people of Israel know this about God. They are God's covenant people. The Bible describes them as the church in the wilderness, Acts 7:38. They went through all their battles successfully with absolute victory, and none of them was lost in the process whenever they were in right relationship with God. The drama in Egypt is most illuminating. God had appeared to Moses and commissioned him to lead his people out of the house of bondage. He went, after consulting with the elders of the people, to demand Israel's unconditional release from Pharaoh. It was a mighty conflict, perhaps the greatest ever recorded in the history of the world. Pharaoh refused and the battle began. It was not necessarily a battle or fight between Moses and Pharaoh, it was a battle between the true God and the God of Egypt. It was so because God had to act on the basis of His covenant with Abraham. God had told Abraham that his seed would go into a foreign land to sojourn, and that the seed will be oppressed, but that He would bring them out with a mighty hand. And He said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 400 years, and also that nation whom they shall serve, will I judge, and afterward shall they come out into a great substance. Genesis 15:13-14. God proved Himself great on behalf of Israel in Egypt. The people of Israel won all the battles. They did not lose any so long as they walked with God. The Bible has a comprehensive catalogue of these victories. It is really an eye-opener to consider the winning lifestyle of Israel. They centered on the basis of God's covenant of victory and had it always. God caused them to triumph always. After God had proved Himself to Pharaoh and all Egypt, and had delivered them by a mighty hand with signs and great wonders, the people of Israel set out on their journey with great substance. They left with goods, cattle, and all good things from the land of Egypt. Great was God's goodness to them. As they progressed on their journey, Pharaoh felt he had made a mistake by allowing the children of Israel to go. So he brought all his men of valor together and the sophistication of his army, virtually the best in the world at that time. He started on a hot chase of God's people to destroy them. He took 600 chosen chariots, and all the chariots of Egypt and captains over each of them. He really prepared to finish God's people. He knew that they had taken the wilderness route and that the Red Sea was there. So he had finalized his plans to destroy Israel. His heart was hardened. He was determined. But the Egyptians pursued after them, all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh, and horsemen, and his army, and overtook them encamping by the sea. Exodus 14:9. This was the first battle they were going to face since leaving Egypt. It was almost too early for them to begin to encounter such conflicts. They had an unsettling problem before them. The Red Sea was there, a great obstacle. They had not found an answer to that, and here was the great host of Egypt. Pharaoh brought all his army, chariots, captains and horsemen against a physically unarmed Israel. Naturally, that was a dark hour for them. They had a battle on hand, a tough one. They could not run away. The Red Sea gave way as Moses used his rod, the children of Israel passed on dry ground, both Pharaoh and his men got drowned in the sea. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. Exodus 14:30. This was Israel's first deliverance. Nothing touched any of them. But the whole army of Pharaoh perished in that fight. The people of Israel moved, took on their journey. When they got to the land of the Amorites, they sent a message to Sihon the king to allow them pass through the land peacefully. They did not mean to fight. They were not looking for trouble with the people. All they wanted was just a free passage. When God is on your side, you do not go about looking for trouble. You know your right as an overcomer. A champion does not go about challenging people. He knows he is superior to all other fighters. So they wanted free passage through the land of the Amorites. And Israel sent messengers unto Sihon the king of Amorites, saying, Let us pass through thy land, we will not turn into the fields, or into the vineyard, we will not drink of the waters of the well, but we will go along the king's highway until we pass thy borders. Numbers 21:21, 22. But funny enough, the Amorites refused them passage. They also marshaled all their men together and fought Israel. Sihon took his people into the wilderness to fight against Israel. Israel, however, stood against them and defeated them very neatly. And Israel smote him with the edge of the sword and possessed his land from Arnon to Jabbok, even unto the children of Ammon. 4. The border of the children of Ammon was strong. Numbers 21:24. They marched on from victory onto victory. There was no nation that could stand against them. They made a mess of Jericho, Ai, King Og, and the Amorites, the 5 kings. They won all their battles. Jericho was reported to be one of the strongest cities in the world at that time. Their security was the best. The wall was strong and mighty. History has it that the wall of Jericho was so thick that 6 horsemen could ride side by side with ease on it. It was so thick that Rahab, the harlot, could build her house on it. The wall of Jericho was strong enough to accommodate a whole house. For her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. Joshua 2:15. But this wall could not stand the covenant people. Apart from the wall, the land of Jericho had men of valor in it. They were mighty men of valor. Joshua 6:2. But when they heard of the covenant people, their hearts melted. They knew no one could prevail over these people. The children of Israel knew their covenant right to victory. So everybody that came against them went down. Jericho's wall with all its mighty men of valor perished. They were born victors and winners. As they progressed, kingdoms and nations heard about their exploits. Their hearts melted in them. They were helpless, so they started looking for help from other kingdoms. They formed a conspiracy against Israel, but they all fell. The 5 kings of the Amorites are a classical example here. Adoni-Zedek king of Jerusalem had heard that Gibeon made peace with Israel. So he sent messages to Hoham, king of Hebron, Piram, king of Jarmuth-Japhia, king of Lachish, and Debir king of Eglon to help him fight Gibeon. Gibeon, on the other hand, sent quickly to Joshua for help. Joshua came up in defense of Gibeon and smote the confederacy of the Amorites. He utterly destroyed all of them, and none of the children of Israel was hurt in the battle. Throughout their wilderness experience, whenever they were in fellowship with God, they won all their battles. There are about 31 kings and kingdoms that Joshua led the people of God to overcome. They did not lose to any of them. God had earlier made a covenant with Abraham about this people. When God met him initially, he gave fantastic promises to him and his seed after him. I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Genesis 12:2, 3. Whoever blessed Israel got blessed, and whoever cursed them got cursed. There was an automatic curse upon any and every enemy of Israel. God is bound by his covenant to protect their interest all the time. Take time to read Joshua chapter 12 and see Israel's catalogue of triumphs. No kingdom was strong enough to stand against them. They all fell easy prey to Joshua and his people.